Hi guys, I'm Annabelle and welcome to Meeple Village. Kickstarter. See, Kickstarter used to be a place where you could get great offers in new games. You would get the game before anyone else, even retail stores, and you would get it at a great price. On top of that, you would get exclusive content that was sometimes not available anywhere else. It used to be a great deal. But let's face it, guys, if you look at Kickstarter now, the prices have skyrocketed. And now the games are pretty much very expensive, and the content, the stretch goals, sometimes it doesn't have value or add any more value to the game. Also, they've added a lot of add-ons just to get us to give them more money. So is it still a good idea to back projects on Kickstarter? Well, I think it comes down to the individual project that you're trying to back. But let's go ahead and look at the pros and cons, and you can decide for yourself. So first, let's talk about the pros. Let's talk about the stuff that we still love about Kickstarter that still hold true today. You're still gonna get a brand new game. You're getting a game before most other people get it because it hasn't reached retail stores yet. So you can still boast to your friends about this new game that you got on Kickstarter because you jumped in the bandwagon when all of your friends didn't. That still holds true. Also, there might still be games that have exclusive Kickstarter content. And if that's the case, then you can boast about that too, because nobody else is going to have that special first player marker or whatever it is, a special miniature or something that was painted. So you still get that exclusive content, which we all love. I mean, I have fallen for that as well. Another good thing about Kickstarter are those stretch goals. And obviously that's going to depend from game to game, what stretch goals are hit and what do the stretch goals add to the game. But those three things are still great. However, let's now look at the cons. The first one that I can think of that has always gotten me, even before, is the long wait. Sometimes you're waiting for a game for over a year. And a lot of times it keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and you just don't know when you're going to get a game. I have already given up on trying to figure out when my game is coming for some of the projects that I have backed. The second reason we already spoke about, it's expensive. Nowadays, you are sometimes paying overpriced. When you look at the shipping and you look at the cost, at the pledge that you're involved in, you're paying sometimes even more than if you would have just bought that game on a retail store. So that's something also to be aware of. Another thing that really gets me is the uncertainty of knowing if the game is good. I mean, let's face it, you can go ahead and look at reviews and sometimes even playthroughs, but you have to remember and keep in mind that a lot of the people that are reviewing those Kickstarter games are getting paid. So their opinion is, well, how would you rate something if you were getting paid to rate it? You think about that. So with that in mind, I think it's going to come down to the game you're backing and what game is it, how much do you want it, and what does it offer. Is the game right for you? Well, here are some tips to help you figure that out. The first thing is, well, very logical. Is it a game that interests you? Now, you're not backing it because everybody else is doing it, but just because you really, honestly want to play that game. Will the game sit on your shelf, or will you play it as soon as you get it? Because if it's going to sit on your shelf, then you can wait. You can wait until someone is reselling it, or even when it gets to your friendly local game store and you can pick it up then. Do you know the company that makes this game? That's another important one. What other games have they put out? Are they good? What about the content? What about the quality of the components on their other games? Those are things that can help you make a decision. Does the game and the stretch goals and all of the stuff that comes in the pledge, does it add value to the game? And what I'm talking about is, if for any reason you get the game, you play it, and you figure out it's not for me, or down the line, down the road, you just get tired of playing it, when you go sell that game, are you going to get your money's worth? That's also very important, isn't it? You want to make sure you can get what you paid for when that game is off your shelves. I hope these tips have helped you and you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to catch up some of our other videos that are coming up and the ones that we've already put in the past. Until then, may you play more games.